Hello, say hello in the chat. I am Chaitra Vedalapalli. With me, I have Patti Dabrowolski. And today is going to be one of those most fun event where we get to do our vision board. Patti, are you excited?
I'm super excited. Are you kidding? Come on. This is so good, Chai. It's so specific, and I love that.
Absolutely. And when you get to see your vision map and you can make the move and we build the confidence together, I think life is fun and it's so much fun.
Yeah, it puts all the pieces together for you. Then you have a reason to get up.
Exactly. We have a global representation from the crowd who is representing, and more people will start joining. So stay tuned and we'll have fun. Anyone who is new in the community, who's new, say new in the chat. It's going to be a fun experience. So we'll take it slowly because we are building a vision board. There's no hurry because we need each one of you to see the future.
Lots of people here, Chai.
Absolutely. So, for people who are new to Women in Cloud, we are actually an organization building a bold vision to democratize $1 billion in economic access. And our ecosystem is 150,000 members in 120 countries. So, if you are from any of the countries, welcome and exciting. Our mission is to create a structured pathways for women and allies to build economic power in the AI economy. And the way we do it is through career access. So helping women professionals secure industry certification and high growth tech jobs. The second one is enterprise access, really for the founders to access customers, cloud marketplaces, and strategic partnership. And the third area which we focus on is leadership access, helping women executives to access industry stages, AI investments, and board advisor opportunity. And the reason why people join Women in Cloud is because we provide real economic opportunity, not just networking. And for many members, we have become the launch pad for careers and companies and industry leadership. And the way we operate is in a global hybrid ecosystem, and members connect through our digital platform, through our global events, through the certification program and a confidence circle program, which you're part of it. Also investing in the infrastructure funds and co-authorship and movies. And what we have designed is an economic engine which turn talent, ideas, and partners into real economic opportunities in the AI economy.
What you didn't say, Chai, is that it's really fun. There are always exciting opportunities to participate with that are crazy good. They're so amazing.
Thank you. Just a quick stats on where we are. We've been in the business for 6 years, and our global reach is 10 million across the world. And we have done a Guinness World Record. We are host AI hackathons to create AI innovators. And then we also have Opulus, which became the Amazon bestseller. And we have multiple partners, and we are pretty much the media itself, we are touching over 800 million impressions. And Patti, that's what I'm excited to talk about. What do you want to learn today?
For me, I want to understand really this economic access report. What were the key things for you that stood out in this report?
Sure. So we had 250 folks came together in a live research session. It was in January, and we went through it. And the questions we asked is what would change if one access point became fully available in 2026? And the leading response that came in was confidence, income, independence, influence, and direction. And they all became the fundamental components of economic agency. But the big aha moment for me personally was I thought everyone comes to Women in Cloud for income and influence, but many of them came for confidence. They wanted confidence. And Patti, I was like, I have to come to you because confidence comes for knowing the vision, knowing the steps you take, And then from there, the income, the independence, influence, and direction all comes together. So that one was my biggest aha moment. Like I had to flip my paradigm that our intention going forward is to build a confidence in every person so that they can move forward very effectively.
Yeah, I love this in comparison with last year, which was about health and wellness, right?
Yes, yes,
Those that kind of work-life balance was a really big piece of it. But this
exactly.
year, to focus on confidence, and you really nailed it, Chai, when you said that it has to do with clarity, clarity of vision, clarity of direction. And that's what we're going to work on today. And that's very exciting. And this whole series, I think, is really exciting to me.
Absolutely. And another finding which we realized is with AI, if you go onto TikTok or you go onto Instagram, they always talk about is you can become a millionaire. How many of you have seen like you can become a millionaire like that? But then when you look at the real data is only 10% of the people actually can become a millionaire. It's not that easy, right? So if you go to the next slide, what we realized was there is the economy is rich in opportunity, but when it comes to individuals, it's very poor in economic navigation. And everywhere we see is the skills, whether it's jobs and careers, entrepreneurship, leadership and visibility, community networks, it all feels accessible, but how to navigate through has been extremely difficult. If you all feel true, just say yes in the chat, because then we can go into what we are trying to address for all of you. And then we also asked us what's possible when access is unlocked. Let's say if we unlock any of the access, whether it's confidence, income, or independence or influence, we had some really good responses from there. They said is if I had access to influence, I would be able to fundraise more smoothly and deliver impact to women with my product. If I had access to founders, I would use my connection to help uplift others. If I had access to funding and scholarship, I would start a business and upskill to remain relevant and positive impact on the planet. So based on that, we said going forward, we'll address is one thing is address the confidence gap for our members. If we get that right, everything else becomes very possible. So if we address even a change in how we bring in the clarity and we bring in the confidence for you, and if we get that particular problem solved, we will unlock a lot of economic opportunities. So that's what, Patty, we said is we're going to address the confidence gap at least going forward so that everybody our ecosystem they can stand tall and say, yep, I am very confident and I can move. And I know I have a community that supports me.
Yeah, I love that.
We are going to pull together is a confidence circle. That is the program. And the program itself has ability for us to see the map, make the move, and build confidence together. So there will be three components of this program. One is it's a three-part live activation session or series featuring Patty. So from skills to income. So you're mapping your economic path. So that's what we are going to do today. The second session, we will actually come in the Zoom, and that one will be mentoring, understanding the momentum, and the course creation. And the third one is we are going to come and own the win. We are going to celebrate. We are going to talk about whatever the confident moves we made throughout the year. So that one is a three-part session that we will all have. I want all of you to pledge that you're going to show up for all the three because you came here. Come for the next one and the other one and sign up because then we are all going to be a strong community of influencers and confident folks who can move the needle in the AI economy. The second part is creating a confidence circle, is turning the community into the economic infrastructure. That means we are going to create a program that allows you to participate throughout the year, and we have it in the digital network. You can be part of it. It is a paid program, but it is kept at $99 to make sure everyone across the world can join. And the third one is the advocacy engine. As you are creating success within the confidence circle, we are going to turn that story to inspire the world to show what it took for you to move so others can also see you as an inspiration and we can move one member at a time. So that's the intention. So with that, let's get to Patty. And as we are going to make this possible, and then let's go deep dive as we start working on the vision map.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Chai. And you can see how incredible this is. And this is one of the things about Women in Cloud is that we're always trying to create something for you that you will be able to access and move your needle in influence and build your confidence. This year, it's all about that. And so we're going to continue to do that. Now, first, what I'd like to have you do is put in the chat, listen to what I'm going to say. I want to know how clear you feel your economic path is right now. One, it's totally unclear. Two, you have ideas, but no real plan. Three, it's somewhat clear. Four, pretty clear. And five, it's crystal clear. So just put in the chat where you would put yourself. Yeah, two, three, good. Okay, good. Somewhat clear, good. All right, one, you can see here the difference that we have here. And you know, if you're anywhere between 1 and 4, this really will help you today. This is exactly why we set this up, is to move that needle on this. And I don't see any 5s, because if you were a 5, I was going to have you be my co-facilitator here. Okay, good. That's fantastic. Okay, Carolina, let's go. Oh, fantastic. Good. Here we go. Let's get started. All right. So this is the template that I'd like you to use today that I created. So find this template. If you have it, you can print it out. If you don't have it, just create one that has current, and then it has desired future, and then it has 3 bold steps. And you could see here, and you can put your name at the top up there somewhere. Yeah, I put these 3 gold bars to get us across because I think it's a good stepping stones. If you want it, you can download it. And then go ahead and put me in that center part, if you would, Carolina, and I'll get started. So the first thing that I want to just talk about is I want to tell you my story just briefly, right? I'm a 3-time TEDx speaker. I speak all over the world and I draw people's future. But I really didn't start by drawing people's future. What's true is I became successful because I drew a picture of my future, what I wanted. I was an actor living in New York. And like most actors there, I had 14 different jobs trying to make it. And so one day I decided I'm going to draw a picture of this. And so I drew a picture of myself on stage. And like that picture, I looked like a big potato. I didn't know how to draw at all, but I put that picture up on my wall. And the universe must have recognized that potatoes were an okay thing to be. And so they totally responded. Now, I didn't have a New York agent. I didn't have connections. I didn't have money, but I imagined this future for myself. And my brain started to look for a pathway to that future. It started to line things up for me. So suddenly I was in Seattle auditioning for a show that went to the main stage. I got into it, went to the Kennedy Center, and a year later, I'm on Broadway. And I think, wow, 1 year later, I'm on Broadway. That is crazy. So I've been doing this with organizations all around the world. What I learned is that if you can see your future clearly, then your brain will create a path to it. And that path today, we're going to draw for your economic future. So get yourself ready by getting these things in place. And I'm going to talk just a little bit about the brain science and why drawing works. Right? I jumbled that around just because I want to be able to see that screen clearly. So why drawing works. Even bad drawing encodes your brain. It's the brain sees things differently, and it operates by accessing 3 systems. One, it's got a visual system. So we learn through images. Images encode our brain with information. Then when we draw it, we're using our motor system. That's our hand drawing that. That's another encoder. And third, it's a cognitive system. So the mind organizes that data for you. And so this trifecta, this activates and wires this new neural pathway for you. And, you know, you're drawing a goal, But what you're really doing is you're building a road within your brain to the future that you desire. And imagination is the key to this. We always think imagination is something fluffy, but it is actually your future building muscle, your imagination. You want to develop it just like you develop your muscles when you go to the gym, just like that you learn certain things. Your imagination is something that you can expand and utilize. I call it the portal to the future field because that's what it does. It helps you rehearse outcomes in advance, test possibilities. So it runs these little future scenarios, positive and negative. So you always have to shift them to the positive experience you want to have. And the best part, it lets you emotionally feel the experience in advance. And when all that happens, these imagined futures help your brain feel safer and that this is actually positive and possible. So your brain thinks, okay, that's an actionable thing because we've seen it, we've tested it, we've tried it. So it now believes that it's possible. And your brain, it that access to possibility, it has access through your imagination that logic can't see. So every economic opportunity, every pivot you've made, every leap you've done, every time you said, I'll try this, that started with your imagination. And that's the most incredible part of this whole thing that we're going to be doing today. The other piece is around the picture simulation. A picture is remembered 6 times better than just words. So that's why that ugly potato drawing worked for me because it was neuroscience in action. Now, let's just talk briefly about confidence. Confidence is not a personality trait. It's a byproduct of clarity. And Chai was talking about this earlier. But for me, drawing creates this clarity faster. So put in the chat if there's anything that I've said so far that surprised you. Anything about the neuroscience, living testimony. Yes, here I was thinking your imagination is stressing you out. Yeah, your imagination, it will stress you out if you don't operationalize it, if you don't turn it and put it on the things that you want. So any kind of stick figures that we draw are an opportunity. Okay, so yeah, reminder of the neuroplasticity. That's right. Okay, so now let's get started. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this piece on the left side. We're going to work on our current state of our economic situation, whatever it is. Now, stick figures are really good. That actually makes you qualified to be here right now. If you can draw a circle, then you are overqualified. So just know that this is an opportunity to draw bad pictures up here to get what you want. And we'll be doing words and pictures. And you'll want to scatter it around the page so that your brain doesn't think this is list making, actually accesses the part of your brain that is structured and organized. And in this way, we're going to expand what we already know. So earlier, this is part of being confident, even about your drawing. So every time you draw something, I want you to just say to yourself, that is fantastic. Because it is the fact that you're drawing is waking your brain up to the idea that this is where you are or where you will be. Confidence comes from clarity. A path is fuzzy is not going to get you there. When it's fuzzy, confidence collapse. So it's like getting in your car and saying, okay, today I'm going somewhere successful, but you don't have a GPS and you don't have a roadmap, none of that. So let's look at the current state of what your economic situation is right now. I'm going to move my thing over just a little bit. There we go. And on the left side, I want you to put like, what are you currently doing for work? What's happening for you? Do you have a job? Do you have your own business? And I want you to just draw a picture and write a few descriptors of what's happening. Maybe you have an employer, you're an employee, or maybe you have some ideas or you have a startup. And then give me some ideas of what's happening with it. What skills and talents are you using? And what's going well in that business, in that economic situation that you're in right now? What's going well?
And Patty, I'm going to read out as people are going to share their information.
Yes, and so I want you to draw it and write it on your picture, and then we're gonna share. So we have a little time for you to work on it before you start sharing. So don't feel like you have to start sharing immediately, because what will happen is you'll get distracted by sharing. But feel free to put out there what's there. Okay, and I want you to be thinking about what kind of income do you currently have? You're not going to necessarily need to share that income with me, but I want you to see it right there. So, what's going well in your current work? So, maybe it's exciting that you think the work is exciting, or maybe it feels like you're just a kind of a mouse going around trying to make things happen. Okay, and once you've gotten a few things there that are going well, I want you to also put what is draining your energy, what's frustrating you, what's challenging to you in this current economic environment. So just take a few minutes to draw and write those things. And I find that if I write the word, then I'll get an idea for what the picture would be, and just picture whatever you think. Whatever comes to you is what you want to draw. Now start to put a few things in the chat, and Chai's probably going to come on here and tell me and read for me the things in the chat. Tell me a few of the things that are going right now. Tell me some of your skills and talents that you have. Okay, I see that you're teaching yoga online for a company. All right, that's fantastic. Okay, what else? What else are people doing?
So Michelle says, public speaking coaching, I'm getting validation that people really need this. And Erin says is teaching yoga online for a company. It's $15. The good thing is I love doing this, but so underpaid. I want to do this for myself. And Margaret says that things that are good is teaching at university provides medical benefits.
Okay.
Helen says conducting a sales leadership boot camp and forecasting class. And then Miriam says stable job in the cloud with a public enterprise. Hanini says, I'm actually still a student, so I really don't have a monthly income, but I'm trying to do a startup before graduation.
Fantastic.
What else is going well for you all? Providing film and evidence, Sheila says, based on mental health education program to schools, and funding has become tight for schools to invest in students' mental health. Melanie says his trauma-informed coaching is new and going well. I can feel a huge need for supporting nervous systems while also providing practical executive coaching. Sarah says is enrolled into a full-time as a student in an online cloud degree while working at a Freyer shop 5 days a week. My boss allows me to study in the back when not busy. That's good, Sarah.
That's fantastic. Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right. So now put a few things that aren't going well, things that are challenging.
Yes, what is challenging for you all? I'm currently a caregiver and it's draining because I'm underpaid and not doing what brings me joy in utilizing skills. Shivani says is she's an engineer and a teacher, but struggling to sell myself and market my classes.
Yeah.
Erin said not having a steady income, taking care of my health and caregiving, as going better as my patient is better. A rising cost of living with minimal income. Being a full-time mom to my 1 year old and now going back into the workforce is challenging. And then working as a technical trainer on a part-time basis, underpaid and looking for better opportunities.
Yeah.
And then saying building a business from scratch is challenging as I'm figuring out the steps and not feeling confident yet. I can see that one, especially in the current market. Time to spend on my business with two little kids.
Yes.
I miss solving gnarly problems. I would still rather be in software.
Oh,
Struggling to launch and get clients, pulled in multiple directions, skill wise, so stressed out with always having to study. I work full time in legislative healthcare and also had to get a part time job in customer service to make ends meet as a first time home buyer.
oh,
Uh, yeah,
oh, wow. I just don't you feel the pain of all this, Chai? I'm like,
it is.
I'm thank you so much, everybody, for sharing all of these things. And you could see how really understanding like access and marketing and how to balance all of the work-life balance, right? Having kids and having a job and going back and being a student. And how can you make all that happen? It's really so tricky. So just really, I understand this piece of it very well myself, having just multiple careers and having to pivot at different times. So, what's really fantastic about this for me is that it's good to look at this and then think about where is your income coming from? Is it coming from an employer? Is it coming from consulting? Is it coming from a job that you have or multiple jobs that you have? And is it a mystery? Like then suddenly we make ends meet at the end of the month, right? I know as an actor, that's how it was for me. It'd be like a mystery. I'd get a grant or I'd get funding or I'd get whatever it was. And then I would be able to continue to go on. So look at how is the money coming? What stream is it coming to you through? Is it from external, meaning that you're not creating the opportunities yourself? You're in a situation where those things are happening for you. Okay. And just take that in and look at the situation that you have here, right? This is everybody all together, but amazing. And this is our economic, or yours in your case with your drawing, your economic ecosystem that you are in right now. And the way that the brain works is it's only going to focus on the things that are challenging for you because that's what it's set up to do. It's set up to problem solve, which is great, but we're not going to problem solve right now. For a second, I just want to talk about the three different archetypes that women often fall into in these. And so if you're other, welcome. And just know that these are the archetypes that we fall into. We're overworking, right? Which means we're capable, but we can't figure out how to scale the money. And so we have limited opportunities. We're working inside the system and we're not able to make I have a new puppy and the puppy is now finding my notes on the floor and chewing them up, which is great. Chew them up now because I've already used them. But when you're in this first archetype of overworked, it's like being a mouse in one of those little wheels going round and you can't figure your way out. So that's one. The first archetype is overworked. The second one is that you're almost there. You have talent, but your direction is a little fuzzy. And so you often will find yourself scattered and you'll start something, it'll stall out. And then the third category is a future builder. And this person has clarity of vision, and they have access and leverage, and they have visibility, and they're using their imagination as a portal. So the only difference between these three, the overwork, the almost there, the future builder, is clarity. And so put in the chat, if you would, which one you think you are stuck in right now. One, the overworker. Two, almost there, scattered. And three, a future builder. Put that in the chat for me so I can see where you think you are. Where are you? Okay, yeah, two. Yeah, good. Somebody put the mouse in the wheel thing. Yeah, a lot in that. Okay, good. Thank you so much for these really honest responses. Good. Okay, I like it. All right, fantastic. Yeah, depends on the time of day, somebody wrote. And for me, these things are good to note, but they're not the place to get stuck. I just know that if I am spinning my wheels, like that means that I need to focus more on my future and get clarity around that picture, which is what we're going to do next. So first, if you would, I want you to drink some water. If you have water nearby, water rejuvenates your cellular structure. So we want to do that, or coffee, or stand up. If you're sitting down, stand up for a second and then sit back down. Anything to get yourself motivated. And I always do this little brain trick. It's an integrator and a de-stressor. We're going to go into the future, so we don't want to carry over the stress of looking at all that stuff on the left side. We want to go with an open mind, and we want to go into this future. And so this brain integrates this little weird drawing of the infinity symbol, get you all ready to go. Okay. Now, let's draw the most incredible future we can imagine. And my secret to drawing the future in your economic future is I always start with how I want to feel first. Because remember, feeling plus picture marries it to your memory better than anything else. So think about how you might want to feel over here. Maybe you want to feel confident. Or you want to have access. Or you want to be calm. Think of 3 descriptors for how you would like to experience yourself. When you get up in the morning, this is how you actually feel. And then I want you to start to build out that future. So what kind of impact do you want to have? Like, how does that impact? Like, what do you want people to be saying? Oh my God, like that one thing you did really changed me. That yoga that you lead, that is incredible. That sales pitch you gave, that report that you turned in, those things are incredible. What impact? What kind of work do you want to do? What will it feel like? The kind of work. If you had your dream job that you really wanted to do, whether it's a business or a product or a project that you really long to work on. And what visibility do you want to have? How do you want to be seen? What do you want people to be viewing you as? Are you an expert in an area? Is this where you want to grow? Like right now, I've been watching these videos by this person, Nikki, whose name is spelled Nike. It says Nikki, not Nikki, right? But on Instagram, she has these neuroscience like posts that are incredible. And so is that what you want to be? Do you want to be an influencer? Do you want to, and then what kind of freedom do you want to have? What would the freedom look like? And so I want you to dream as big as you can. Like, how abundant do you really want to be? What do you see yourself making in terms of your income? Where do you want to be a speaker? Do you want to write a book? What dreams are you spinning? Do you want to have some like stream that is something that you don't have to work on every day, but it's something that comes into your box that's a recorded video of you doing yoga that people download and they watch repeatedly, right? I'm using that as an example just because it's a great example of how you monetize a business. Or do you want to build something out? You have an idea. And what kind of opportunities do you want? Do you want capital? Do you want investors? Are you looking for a leadership role? What connections do you want? What influence do you want? If we work harder, what's true about women is that we think, oh, just work a little harder. And if that paid off for us, working a little harder, like every woman would be a billionaire by Tuesday because we all are always full on, right? So it's more than that. It's networking. It's having that network strength that helps and all of the skills that you need. So now let's share a few things. Would you share with me in the chat some of the things that you have on your picture? Okay, let's see here. Hey, Julie, thank you. Okay, good. Okay, this is good.
So these are all connections. And then when I think, Rebecca says, when I think about my economic future, it's all about the desire to feel safe and secure. And a lot of that is rooted in having confidence and belief in my own capabilities. And share a message of love, truth, authenticity, and peace. Have creative and connective opportunity. I want to impact people's lives in a positive way so that we can make a world evolve in this beautiful direction. And Patty, one of the things which I have seen happen is when I made the vision or the outcome more concrete. And anytime I wrote a very concrete goal on
Yeah,
the desired future, it
that's
was much easier to make it happen because I could break it down into details.
yeah.
So that one was my biggest success when doing this exercise. I think with you, probably 20 years I've been doing this one.
Yes. What Chai is saying is something very specific. So in the vision map that I have on my wall this year, I went back to performing again after all these years. And on my wall, I have world tour and I have every single city and how it's going to get funded. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's not just one thing, a goal like world tour. Yeah, that's fine. But let's get the whole roadmap of there. So what would lead up to that? So if you want to have some security, then what you want under that security is not just the why, but really think about that. What would security look like? Be very specific. How much money is got to be in your bank account for you to feel secure?
Yes.
Right. So make that number be there. So whatever that is required for you to feel secure, this has got to be on your picture. And if you are sharing, what your goal is to share truth and spread love, all good. However, let's be specific. How many people do you want to actually share with? Let's get specific. If you're doing those yoga classes and you want to make more money, then you want to either get sponsored by somebody, you want to see yourself in the future with all of 250 people online just waiting for your class to start, right? So that we see this other piece of how it could happen. All right, let's see. Can you?
An example, Patty, like for example, we set a goal for 10,000 people getting certified in cloud AI and cyber, right? That one was, I would say, 3 years ago, we set that goal. We are at 7,000 already. But to do that one, we broke it down into how we are going to get the funding to achieve the 10,000 people ready with industry certification. But think about it. If I would have just said, I want to get lots of people certified, I would not know what a game plan would look like. So we went into very clear. The other thing, when we produced our movie, we said we want to create a new leadership category called as iconic leadership. And that changed how we look at what does that mean? That means we said we need to showcase 1,000 iconic leaders around the world who can actually show how democratization of access looks like, or how do they go about resources or people or programs. And it was more clear. And then I was able to identify which companies can support this kind of narrative in the market.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. The specificity is so critical. Otherwise, it's very hard to put your game plan together, because now you can take that, you can put it into your AI tool and you say, break down
Plan.
my
Build
steps
a
to,
plan.
yeah, build
Right.
me a plan. And you can say, and break the plan. And you say, is based on my procrastination, change the plan. Based on having no access, change the plan. I could do a lot of interesting things, but it really helps you play that game. And then by the time you say, oh, these are all the risks and mitigation I need to do. So then it becomes very easy to execute a game plan for yourself.
Beautiful. So there's some very specific things in the chat now. Michelle wrote, I have a vision of speaking in DC in front of 10,000 people. All right, perfect. And Jean wrote, I wrote a short memoir. I want to set up a path where I can share my story and experience. My book is new and I'm new to this. That's okay. What's true is that when you put that out there, then there will be people that can help you with the tools that you need to get that book seen and shared, right? And
Yes.
so let's see what else we got in here that we're looking at. Feel balanced in your creative side. I be able to land sponsorships for my startup and speaking in your tech journey to share with others. Okay, good. So you see, this is the kind of specificity, because this is what Chai true is, that we're living in an incredible time right now, because you can ask AI anything to build you a plan for anything. I do it all the time. It's a little overwhelming for me sometimes when it says to me, really, I don't know why you haven't created a digital network of Draw Your Future where people can download that for $47. Why haven't you done that already? It gives me that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I know I should have done that. But here is what it gives you: the true path. So figure out something on this right side that is very specific for you. And if you're going back to work and you have children, figure out what does that look like for you, that you have a place where childcare is provided, where you can do work there, right there on site or online, so you can stay home and take care of your kid. Be specific about what you want, right? Or enough money. How much is enough money for you? And then I always, when I had my business before, I would say to them, because I'm a very good salesperson, I would say, put the number that you think you want. And this is what the first salesperson I worked with said to me, and then triple that number, because that's what you deserve. And you have to really have the confidence to know that you will build the skills to achieve that. Once you have that number, you can back it out by months. This is what my net is. This is what I have to make every month. But this is what my additional money is that I'm going to save so that I can have that startup opportunity. Okay, so offerings being my half-day leadership group sessions. Beautiful. All right, future state can happen in a 1 or 5 years. Okay, so that's a really good question in the chat. So here's what I do. I put that on the wall and I say it's going to happen a year from today. I always set that. And then I know some of those things may not happen in that year, because my brain can only focus on the ones that have the most importance to me. So I always choose of these things, like what's the most important? Is access to new partners important to me? Then I'm going to star that one thing. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to draw a circle around it with my pen. So I call it out for my brain and it knows. Okay, now, all right, fantastic online platform. So just call something out for yourself. And now we have to close the book now because I don't want to run out of time and us not having this piece. So the way that we actually close the gap and we create these 3 bold steps is we look at where we are right now. That's where you are, the current state. And then you look at where you will be a year from today. Maybe some of these things will be 3 years from today. And then you ask yourself, what are the boldest things that I could take? What are the boldest economic steps I could take for myself? Would it be to increase my income? Is that part of what needs to happen? Is it to expand my influence? Is that part of what needs to happen? Is it to launch that product or to step into leadership? What are the things that are going to get you from here to there? And they should scare you a little. One of them needs to scare you because scaring you is a good thing in this case. It'll shake you out of the pattern of what you're in now. So take a moment to think about those. What would be the bold step for you? And then anybody who gets one bold step, put it in the chat so we have it. Mm.
Thank you, Rebecca, for saying that events like this are fuel. Absolutely. Especially having Patty, it is fuel. Emotional power. You have a lot of cool things. Erin says, she says, is I have no clue. I know where I want to go, not sure how to get there.
Okay, good. First, use your imagination, right? Remember, your imagination is a portal. It knows how to get you there. Okay, so all you want to do is think of what's one small step I could take, even. The first step you said, Hanan, I'm not sure if that's how I say your name,
Helen.
Hanan. I
Yeah.
guess the first step is to be clear, healthy. Yeah. Thing. All that. Remember, this is how your brain works. You create the path that you think, and then it's going to reveal the path that is the one to take. But you have to take action. You have to start with some momentum. So one of you wrote a list of targets. So I would say I'm going to put identify. One of those is identify leads. So who are the leads that are going to get you there? What else have you got? Trusted partners, access and influence. I love it. Okay, good. Speaking confidently, networking. Yes, career pivoter from researcher to transitioning. Okay, good. Fantastic. Okay. Earn the sale. Okay, good. So
Do you
then
want me to read it, Patty?
good. Then I can write it.
Okay, so the first step is to be clear, healthy. Helen says building a list of target companies and people to approach and call them. Love it. Could be myriad of things, but this could be bounded by so many factors at present. Sheila said trusted partners, access, and influence. Bold steps like clarity, speaking confidently, and networking. Rika says, I'm a career pivoter from working as a researcher in healthcare and transitioning into IT. And after a number of years of working as a developer, this year I'm more focused on finding clients for my own IT company by networking and connecting with others. Landing the cybersecurity position with the income that's right for me and not allowing rejection to disappoint me. Janine, one of my mentors said, when you feel the rejection, restate in your mind, it's a redirection for you. So you don't feel rejected. So that one was a very interesting insight. So when access is not given, you feel rejected, but think about it, it's a redirection of energy in the right place. Erin says, I'm joining the confidence circle. Erin, welcome. We'll be so excited to have you there.
Yeah.
And we have bold steps is earn a Salesforce business analyst, complete a data analyst, and then apply for real skills or apply these skills in real world projects. And Nia says is not everyone talks about the power of money, the power of creating your own security, and that's incredible. I don't have clarity for many years, but I do have now. I'm all set to create my space and video production space through storytelling and intentional video strategy.
That's
Um,
fantastic. Okay.
Melanie
I,
says that
I
the
want
sound is really off. Hold on.
one thing that one person said is really around expanding yourself where you need to be, right? So you can see these steps, right? Applying your skills in real world projects so that you can get yourself out there. So not everybody talks about the power of money. So true. But money is just energy. So you have to understand that the universe is set up in this way. It wants you to be successful, but it is looking really, and you can see that it doesn't have a positive or negative thing attached to success, because there are people doing very negative things in the world that are highly successful. So that means it doesn't have a filter for that. What it filters for is, are you in alignment with that? Do you believe that? Will you see it? Will you work for it? And will you leverage your opportunities? And every time that you achieve one of these things, that you acknowledge it and be grateful for it. The other piece is, and this is one of the things that Chai and I talk about all the time, if you are serving others in the world, the universe will make a path for you. If you are helping other people to grow or change or learn how to work with money or grow their own business, these things will make everything possible because you are serving others. And there's something in that service that will change it. And this is why Women in Cloud as a network is so incredibly important. Because one, there are women in there who have had these incredibly successful careers who are there to help you. And your job really is to come, bring yourself, be honest, and then help other people. This is the ladder we're all walking up together. We're all creating economic stability for each other. And this is why I'm here. This is why Chai's here. We have successful careers. These things are happening, but we want to make sure we bring everybody up with us. That's our job. And that's your job too. And once you figure out aligning your passion with how you serve other people, that is the golden ticket. That is the gold bar. So it's action, because you don't create something from nothing, right? When the path is visible, your confidence will stop collapsing. Decisions get easier, actions become clear. It's not a metaphor. This is your brain simulator for how you're going to get there. So you use this picture for those experiences. And one thing that I want you to do right now is, you have these bold steps, or maybe even you just have one. I want you to figure out what's one thing you're going to do in the next 30 days. What's a commitment that you make to yourself? One thing that you will do, one action you will take towards this economic future that you deserve. And maybe that is simply to use AI to help you build out a plan. Or maybe it's that you get further clarity about which one of these things matters the most to you. Remember, I highlighted one that I thought was really cool. All right, put myself out there. That was one of the bold steps. Put yourself out there, create summer camp classes and publish them for the world to see. I love it. Okay, what's one small action that you're going to do within the next 30 days? Okay, good. Just put it in the chat if you're able to. Thank you so much. Follow up with contacts I already have. Good. Beautiful. Now, put this map somewhere you can see it every day. Take one small action. sign up for the confidence course. We're going to continue to do this. We're going to check in with you. We're going to make sure that you achieve the goals that you have. So create this online yoga. That's fantastic. All right, good. Reach out. All right, yes, reach out to me, Janelle. You can definitely. LinkedIn, best way. Yeah,
And
talked about setting up speaking. Yes, beautiful. All of these things, fantastic. All right, good.
so,
Child,
Patty, can
good.
every one of you hear me well? Because I'm getting feedback from my team. There's a bad feedback when I speak. Is
I
all
don't hear it. I don't hear bad feedback. So
Are you all feeling good? Like you can hear me well?
can
And
people, I can hear you well. I'm not sure. It's not when you speak.
okay, I can hear, I'm getting a lot of feedback. Not anymore. Okay, sounds good.
Okay, good. Now, Chai, will you talk to them about, one thing I would say is when you have this picture, 30 minutes ago, you didn't have necessarily a clear economic future. Maybe it felt vague, but now it exists. Now you see it. And so you want to take a picture of your photo when you're done, because it might be the only time in history that somebody says, hey, this stick figure diagram changed my life. And I know for us, this is true. So let it be true for you. Believe that it can happen. Put it somewhere you can see it and act on it every day. And I always say, my life, it changed. It all started with a picture. So, Chai, over to you.
First is thank you, Patty. I want to actually bring Tina on the stage. Christina, do you want to come on the stage? Because she did the vision board and I want her to speak how she went about it and how things changed. Are you okay to come on the stage with me? Okay, so let me get you in. Okay, Tina, you're on. Put on your camera. Because I can talk about it because I have used vision boarding for the last 20 years. And I know it has been very powerful personally for me, even to build Women in Cloud's future. Anytime we get stuck, we go back to the drawing board and do that. The second thing we also do is not really focus on the how, but also focus on the who. Who should we be working with and how we should be working with. And that changes the entire game when you're focusing on who. And the who basically is determined by which community you want to be part of and invest your time in the community. Tina, go ahead, tell your story.
I hope you can hear me very well, Chai. Yeah, sorry, I'm not on camera. For some reason, it's just not turning on at the moment. But my journey on vision boarding actually started with Patti in 2023 in Jan, if I'm not wrong. I think it was on the 17th that we had the session where we were doing the Guinness record, trying to set the Guinness
Uh,
record.
Tina, hold on for a second. Hold on. Patty, can you just mute your mic for a second? Perfect. Go ahead.
I joined the team to do the Guinness record, and I was actually very skeptical as to how drawing something can actually make the vision come true. But it was during that session, listening to Patty talk about draw your current state and then write the words on where you want to be on your desired state. And then she said three things. I remember that day she said, believe that you can do it and break it down into how you want to go from your current state to your desired state. Even if your drawing is bad, draw it. And then I did that whole session that day. And then Chai, I remember at the end, said, all those who have drawn, go stick it up in a place that you can see it every day. And what I did was I brought that back home and I stuck it up in my workspace where I sit, whether it is to do my office work or my personal work. That's the place I stuck it. So every time I look up from my laptop, that was the page that I was seeing every time. And believe me, I had, I think, 8 things from my current state and 10 things on my future state. And exactly, I think 16, 17 months later, I got to do all out of the 10, 9 of them came true The only thing that I haven't gotten perfect is I had written sleep 8 hours every night, and that was the only thing I didn't manage to do. But I went from sleeping 4 hours to sleeping 6 hours. So I still think that's a win. But almost everything that I had written over there, or I had drawn a picture where it was just a stick picture or stuff, everything worked. And what I believe what Patty told us that day is because when you put it over there, your mind focuses and makes sure that you achieve it because you have something that you're working for. And when it is in your face every day, when you see that, you figure out a way to make it happen. So manifesting, finding out ways to work, I don't know which one is the right one, but I think everything works together. So when we figure out what we want, even if we are not clear of the states, just go ahead and put it up over there. And I have redone it again twice after that. Last year, whatever I wrote, this year again, it came true. Majority of them, like Patty was saying, you might not achieve all the 10 or 12 that you have, but you would achieve the majority of it. And the things that you focus on achieving, you will definitely achieve it. Yes, I'm again starting a new one this year. And here's to doing this every year. And I hope all of you actually spend some time figuring out what you want to what you desire in your future and write it or draw a picture. It needn't be perfect, but believe in it and it will happen. So believe in it, act on it, and you see it every day. So I think I said the order wrong. See it every day, act on it, and then believe it, it will come true.
Amazing, amazing. And Tina, question for you here is, what do you have in your future desired state?
This year, I have a few things that I've written down is to become a public speaker where I am giving it's to give women the support that they need to become a better version of themselves, especially with the emotional state that we are all going through with the turmoil that's happening in the world. So I'm trying to work on a course, a master class on that, on how we can take care of it. It's more like a strength leadership and strategic leadership is the thing that I'm working towards. That's one. The other two that I have is travel for pleasure, not for work, travel for pleasure. So those are the two that I'm targeting this year. And the other thing, yes, is get 8 hours of sleep. And then a couple of personal things that I've added is learn to dance, learn swimming properly, and then become a lot more physically fitter. And I have a goal that I have written. So everything has a specific number, like you have told us to do, where instead of just saying sleep better, this I've been writing sleep 7 hours or sleep 8 hours. And when I say become fitter, I have written over there, work out 30 minutes every day and keep your weight between 70 kgs, not more than that. So I have 6 more kgs to go to achieve that target.
That's amazing, Tina. Was it helpful for all of you to hear the member of our community go through an experience during the Guinness World Record and then hear, and now she's also going to do the next one? Tina, you have been absolutely phenomenal in how structured you are, who you actually work with. Like the people in your network are transforming it. That's why I keep saying is it's not just the how, it's also the who. And if you have the right people in your network, it's magical. That's the magic. And that's where the community comes in.
Yeah.
That's
So
incredible. Those are incredible things. And I love that she was so specific about how many things happened and how many things will happen. The specificity really matters,
Yeah.
especially when you're talking about your economic pathway.
Perfect. And Patty, I'll just go through what the confidence circle looks like for any one of you who wants to be part of this programming, because Patty and I, we will be inside the confidence circle network, so that anytime you have a question, you want us direct have access to me and Patty, that is how you get it. Because Suddenly you go from an email address to a real human being, and we can engage with you within the network. So Carolina, if you can put in, I'll just talk about what is possible in the confidence circle. And why did we even put a dollar amount? Like, we had an insider circle. We went through a lot of experimentation for 2 years, and we realized is like, no, that was not exactly what people wanted. People wanted something that can help them show the future, create the map, celebrate the momentum, also get them access to the master class, which is the invisible labor that goes in building clarity and confidence to move that forward. So we'll have access to that one for you. Immediate application of the learned concepts. So you can really, we can share some of the strategies that can help you there, because Patty and I, we are very much framework and playbooks driven. So you will have all those resources. Also, you'll have a badge that you're an activator. So everyone in your network, where they know that you're wearing a confidence badge, people will come to you because they know you can get things done. And then you'll have access to the other things, opportunities as discounts, hackathons, and job listing, but also be invited for the 2027 Economic Access Report research work and allow each one of them to contribute. What we have realized is when we get to certain threshold of the community members, we can actually run a Guinness World Record together. So I would love to have the second Guinness World Record where we can break our own record. That would be fantastic. And then your stories will be told. You have an insider peer-to-peer network, so you can actually connect with each other and really drive collective action. That's the intention. We literally reduced it. So this one is, there is no time commitment. It is really a commitment of you working on your vision. And we are going to see the vision so we can see and we can say, okay, this person needs that. Let's get them connected. Like, for example, as Christina was talking about it, I want her to meet Sheila here in the network because they both are working on a similar things. One is in India, one is in US. When they both connect, there is a great opportunity. So both of you, please get connected, right? That's a simple example of where we can see the trends and opportunity and get the connection. That's where the who makes it very helpful. So consider joining. I would love each one of you to be part of it. And then how to get started is, you can join the next slide. If you can join the Confidence Circle Activation Series, those are all free. You can come for an hour, be there. But if you want to be part of the circle, then join by paying. And it's a Stripe link. You go in. Once you do it, we'll send you a complete access form, which is like an onboarding form, which allows us to know is what kind of access you're looking for. And then we'll help you make your first move, is complete the first thing on the vision map so that you can see the momentum going. That's how we are architecting this confidence circle. And you'll also give a lot of feedback, right? So who is this one for? Anyone who's capable, ambitious, and are tired of guessing, right? You just don't want to do it on your own. But you have the skills, the experience, and ideas, but stuck in almost clear territory. If that's you, this is the one for you guys, right? What does it make? How is it different from other community or courses? Most of the other programs are information, but here is about a movement, and it's an execution environment and live activation and clear deliverables and visible progress. You have opportunities and the contribution loops that you create will tell you that you're taking action, because in the world of AI, the people who are taking action will move faster because that's what it gets incented on. Is it replacing the insider circle? Yes, that program is sunsetted already like last month, but this one will become our signature program for going forward. Question, is it really worth $99? It depends upon you, right? If you want a crowd like me and Patty and others coming together, then it's for you. If it's not, go spend the money on something that gets you where you want to be. This is not a mandatory requirement for you to be there. You'll say, I'm early in my career, I'm in mid-career, I'm a founder. Will it still? Absolutely, because it's focused on your vision as a person to live a complete, fulfilling life. It's not about a job or it's not about a business owner. It's about humanity at the core. And we are all working towards building our leadership capability as well as ensuring our economic direction is set. And we all can talk about, because I know Tina and I know Patti, magic happened, right? That's the key. What's expected me of as a member of this one, at least make one confident move. Whatever action we want to do, name a progress when it happens and share the access when you can. And that's how the compounding effect of confidence works together. So that's how the program is set for you. So if you are interested, we would love you to be there. So Patti.
I love it. I love it, Chai. This is incredible. And so you can see that. Oh, I want to just say this one other thing about imagination, because group imagination is also one of the most powerful things. So we have all come together and used our imagination to create this economic force, this economic roadmap. You think it's just for you, but in fact, we built this together and we have this map to prove that. This is all of our shared vision. And that lives in a space. In the imaginal field is a real space. Our imagination just reflects what's already up there waiting for you. So this exists for all of us now. And our job really is just to acknowledge and encourage ourselves and all those around us to build this vision that we long to step into. So thank you so much, Chai, for doing this process today. I just love it. And I can't wait to see everybody in the next iteration of this. Can't wait to hear what happens for you, everyone. So please join Women in Cloud if you're not part of it already, and put the things into the Women in Cloud. Put in the chat there what you are experiencing. Do it on LinkedIn or share there, share your picture. And one other thing, share that picture with people who believe in you. Don't share it with people who are naysayers. Put that somewhere you can see it. People who believe in you will want to help create that vision for you. You're amazing, all of you. And you too, Chai. Thank you so much for doing this. This was so fun. So great. Specificity.
Patti, thank you. Without you, Women in Cloud would not be where it is today. Especially when we went through COVID, we went through geopolitical issues, we went through DEI completely getting dismantled, we went through all kinds of stuff, and we still are together because we know that the economic access and prosperity has to be a default for each and everyone on this planet. Yes. And I know that matters for you and it matters for Patti and the entire board.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy. And Patti, Rebecca joined. So Rebecca, thank you for joining the circle. Yeah. I think today, as of today, we have 6 members, and hopefully by end of the year, we have 100 members strong. We are working together and people will watch. Then whoever is making the bold moves, they can sit on the sidelines and watch, or they can be part of the circle and make the bold moves. So choose that path. And Carolina, if you can put the slides for us so people can scan the QR code. And that's the bold move, Rebecca. That's a bold move.
Exactly.
Any questions you may have for us so we can answer some questions? We have 10 more minutes.
I'm happy to answer any
questions. On the stage. Patti, is it okay if we can bring people on the stage? And
yes, I'd love that.
Okay. Bring them raise your hand. Yeah, raise your hand and we would love to have you with us. Thank you, Sean. Chi-Chi, you're on the stage.
Hi, Chai. Hi, Patti.
Hi, Chi-Chi.
So I loved everything that was discussed on today's call and the drawings. And I was participating as you were speaking and as we were all collaborating in the chat. But I did want to ask something in terms of, okay, once you make that bold step and like you're now moving towards the next step, what is that like in that middle, like even in your picture, like where's that watery part? Like what is that process like in terms of the endurance?
Oh, that is,
you know, like And then let's say like you did take that bold step and it didn't really work out. You have to now do some kind of remapping. What is that like?
Yeah, these are great questions. One, I think this watery part for me, these are the challenges that happen to us. And sometimes these are the water we fall into are the limiting beliefs that we have about what's possible, right? So
Mm.
whenever something doesn't work out, I assume that something better is coming my way. I don't just
Mm.
take that as a failure. I look and pivot it right away into, I guess that wasn't exactly what I was supposed to be doing. So then I go almost back to the drawing board, but I use my practice, my inner practice to work on that. So I'll use my imagination. I'll just get quiet, close my eyes, and then ask. So, and that with a paper in hand, what is the thing that is missing from this picture? What am I missing? Because for years, I put keynote speaker on my map. Years. It was up there on my map. I had it on my map. I want to be a keynote speaker, but it didn't happen. Then I realized I was waiting at home for the phone to ring, but nobody knew anything about me. They didn't have any idea who I was. So I started to volunteer to speak at these events in Seattle. And I would just go there and then there I discovered if I went there and drew for them, it was so much more powerful. So then it started to happen. But at first, my vision was fuzzy. Even though I knew where I wanted to go, I had no idea what the steps were. So now when this happens, because it still happens, I'll put something on my map and it won't happen. And I'll think, that was #fail, right? But I flip it and I say, oh, this must be #pivot. What am I supposed to do instead of this? So be curious instead of judgmental about the things that come to you or don't. Does that help?
Yes, that was really good. Thank you for providing your life example. And I'm sure all of that occurred before AI, so that must have been extremely like challenging for you to navigate those pivots.
Yes, and now you can ask AI, okay, this is what I want to do. What should I do? Even now, these are some tips from me. I take all the information in the right side of my picture and I type all of that into AI, or I show the picture to AI and I say, now tell me a story about this future that I am stepping into. Tell me my
Mm.
story. And then it will play for you how you got there, what happened, what people are saying, all of that. And it's very inspiring. So before you were like your own PEP commissioner, now you can use AI to be the PEP commissioner. Honestly, you can use it for anything that you need it to be, not anything, but within reason, right? So that you can achieve those things and it will figure out the path forward and what you need to do in terms of skills. It will even help you connect to research or people. And
Mm.
this, I think, is the benefit of the time that we're living in.
Oh,
And
Erin asked a question. I'm sorry. She was like, "How long do you wait before pivoting?" And that's a really good question because what if it's you're just not you just need to keep trying just that one more time, take that one more shot like basketball, and you'll hit that 3-pointer. So, how long did you, in your experience, have to wait till like you landed whatever you were trying to land?
for me, and I'm just going to be transparent. The higher the pain level, the faster the pivot. So when I changed from being an actor, I got a huge, terrible review. I didn't know what I was going to do. If I wasn't an actor, who was I? So I started weeding people's gardens for money. Talk about a rat and that little wheel going around, trying to make like minimum wage, weeding money in San Francisco, trying to make a living, right? But the pain was so intense that I knew that something had to happen. So this is me. I just said to the universe, listen, please show me what the next step is. And a guy walked into the garden and said to me, this is like a random person, somebody that I knew through somebody else said, there's a drama therapy program in San Francisco. I think you should go there. It's a really cool program and you'll learn a lot. And sure enough, I took that opportunity. I went, the informational interview was that night. And so I went, a woman in that circle told my story about getting these bad reviews. And it was so clear to me, my next step, but I had to feel really pained about it. Right. And that I've also been in jobs where I think, I'm just going to give it a second chance. I'm just going to try to go back there and do it again. I'm just going to talk to the boss about it. And then I get a car accident. I have to get a new car. I realized that somewhere on a map, I had drawn something about integrity, and that job didn't help me live into integrity anymore. So the signs are all going to be there. You just have to pay attention and be willing. If you're up against the wall again and again, give up, don't move on, go around it, find the next route. It will appear.
And
Thank
Patty
you.
and Gigi, like for what Patty said, like I look at pivot as is when I have no other choice in
Yeah.
front of me. Like I have given everything that I need to, and I know if I can't, I have to pivot. That would be my thing. But now the point is, you have to, and the other thing that I look at pivoting is what is the paradigm I'm actually trying to create? See, like before Women in Cloud was born, like economic access was never even a conversation in the tech industry. People used to talk about it behind all the programs and everything. Everything was economic transformation, but nobody openly talked about it. I say, what if we actually make this as a platform for everybody to have a decent life, a great dignity, they're celebrated, and they're making the kind of income or the money they want to see in their life. And let's talk about it and let's make that as a primary objective. The economic prosperity is number one. Then you knew is, oh, that's the paradigm I'm ready to shift and commit my life for. It's really about who you want to become, and do you have the patience enough to give everything and to become that identity. So think about who you want. If you want to be a business owner, it comes with the price to be a business owner. That means late nights, you're working 10 hours or 20 hours. I need to figure out what kind of a business owner I want to be. Does that make sense? Like it's the identity, and the timing is how much time you're ready to give to become that person, and how you're going to go through the journey. And you have to give a lot of grace.
Yeah, your economic future isn't something that happens to you. It's something you design. And every point of the journey, you are the designer. And if you can remember that and own responsibility for it, not push the responsibility onto your team, anybody else, but take the responsibility yourself, it will change everything. Because then you're actually moving into a higher consciousness when you own responsibility for what's happening.
Thank you so much, ladies. That was very insightful.
Thanks for coming on stage, Gigi. That was fantastic to have you.
Yes, and thank you everyone for joining today's vision boarding session. As we conclude, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being it was awesome, I saw my future. 1 is I have no idea, I still am on a blank piece of paper. Let us know where you are, so that's important.
Good.
And second is, what is one key takeaway and one bold step you're going to do in the next 1 week? Go ahead, put it in the chat. Hattie, thank you for making people see their vision.
Oh,
they have it.
Chai, thank you so much for inviting me to do it. I love it. And I love that we actually had time at the end to bring somebody on stage. That was really great.
Yes.
Yeah. I like make vision and urgency. Yeah. Step forward now. Don't overthink it. Beautiful. Thank you so much too, Erin. Thank you everybody who came today. And just know that a picture is so powerful. So if you can envision it, it will happen. It will happen.
It will. Sheila says, write my vision board bigger and post it on the wall. Yes. I was pulled into
Exactly.
something at work. Is the session recorded? Miriam, the session is recorded, but it's only available for the Confidence Circle members going forward. You have to be present here to have access to it. Put my drawing in the chat and allow myself to reflect and take that bold step. I joined the circle. I'm choosing to make time to make my vision happen. Absolutely. Patty and I both are accessible for you. I'm going to reach out to more potential partners like schools and libraries. Amazing. Again, I remain positive about the future. Absolutely. With AI coming in, actually, the more information we have, the more faster we can go. So
That's
think
right.
it actually opens up more doors, and we just need to be ready for it.
Definitely, Chai.
Again, Patty, thank you for
Thank
being an
you, Chai.
amazing,
That was
amazing
fantastic.
partner.
Thanks, Carolina, for hosting us here, helping behind the scenes.
Yep. With that, have a great Friday and a great weekend. Bye,
All
everyone.
right, everybody. See you soon. Okay, go get that future.